Hello friends and welcome. Today we shall talk about nutrition. The main objectives of today's deliberation are to understand the concept of nutrition, followed by discussing its role in human health and well-being. We shall also highlight the components of nutrition. Then we shall try to explore what malnutrition is and finally underlining its effects. To begin with, we shall discuss the concept of nutrition. Food is a big part of human life. It's an important resource for a full life. People cannot do anything without food and water. Individuals worldwide consume a wide variety of foods. They eat from the first days of their life till the last day. There is such an opinion that you are what you eat. One can agree with this expression because what we eat directly affects our health. Hence, the quality of food, its nutrients, play a central role. Process of taking in food and using it for growth, metabolism, and repair is called nutrition. Nutrition is one of the most important conditions for preservation of health, normal growth, and development of the human body. According to World Health Organization, WHO, 15% of human health depends on the organization of the health services and 15% on the genetic characteristics, and 70% on lifestyle and diet. Diet has been known as a gateway for physical health. According to Stein, the importance of nutrition dates back to Hippocrates, who stated, "Let food be your medicine and medicine be your food." The food should contain all necessary nutrients to maintain the normal functioning and development of the organism, such as proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals, and water in the required quantities. It has become common knowledge that getting the right amount and balance of these nutrients can have a huge impact on the person's overall health. Nutrition is an input to and foundation for health and development. Proper nutrition makes people stronger and more productive. Healthy eating habits lead to a stronger immune system, less illness, and better health. The nutrient supply is essential for children in the womb to later physical health and development, and that a lack of nutrition at this point could result in the later development of diseases such as cardiovascular diseases and diabetes. Proper and healthy nutrition is a fundamental key to a better quality of life. Health promoters are constantly searching for ways to improve health and well-being. Let's move on to the role of nutrition. Nutrition is a key component for mental development, mood alteration, behavior, and physical health. It has been found that nutrition is important all throughout the lifespan of an individual. It affects people at every stage of their lives. People form eating habits, whether poor or healthy, based on many different circumstances. However, an attempt should be made to eat healthy, as certain foods contain nutrients that are essential to a person's health. Without the proper nutritional stimulus, the physical development of both brain and body may be stunted and important traits will not be expressed. Research has shown that nutrition affects the way in which a certain genetic factor is expressed by supplying the gene with specific molecules or nutrients which are required to express the full potential for development. Relationships between nutrition and brain function have also been the focus of research. Studies have shown that dietary foundations have an impact on normal brain functions. chemical messengers within the brain called neurotransmitters have been studied in conjunction with nutrition. Groudon and Woodman suggested that the brain can no longer be viewed as an autonomous organ free from other metabolic processes in the body. Instead, the brain needs to be seen as being affected by nutrition. The concentration of amino acids and choline in the blood let it create and use many of its neurotransmitters such as serotonin, acetylcholine, dopamine, and norepinephrine, and being able to make the right amount of amino acids and choline. These are two precursor molecules obtained from the blood that are needed for brain to function normally. So it is not surprising to say that what we eat directly influences the brain. Wood cited Critch and the co-workers showing further possibilities that our nutrition has a role with affecting our cognitive functioning. Studies done with school-age children have revealed that there is a direct correlation between poor nutrition and lowered school performance. Iron has also been shown to play an important role in the brain function. Krish et al. Cited details from a study done with men aged 27 to 47 that looked at iron and its effect on concentration. Low scores on a concentration test corresponded with lowered levels of iron in the bodies of the subjects. A connection was made between low iron levels in the children and with attention span. Children with iron deficiency or anemia have been shown to have short attention spans. Kresch et al. Also found that zinc was another nutrient that had a role with cognition, specifically with memory. In a test of mental function called verbal memory, scientists found that volunteers' abilities to remember everyday words slowed significantly only after 3 weeks of low zinc diet. Nutrition has a tremendous impact on children. The development of a child's mind is very important, and proper development is dependent on proper nutrition. Nutrition is particularly important during early childhood. The brain is undergoing a major growth spurt during this time period, thus increasing the body's demand for nutrients. Children require a nutritionally balanced diet in order to meet the demands of their growing brain. Without the necessary intake of the nutrients, the brain will be stunted in its growth, which may possibly lead to mental impairment or retardation. A study done by Levitt and Caribrock found that improper nutrition impairs cognitive development because the body is attempting to survive by saving as much of its energy as it possibly can. In order to do so, it cuts back on child's socialization. The lack of proper socialization deprives the child of stimulation, and as a result, the brain will fail to develop at a normal rate. Children need to socialize with others to develop into well-rounded adults. Nutrition influences the body's ability to fight with illnesses. The effects of proper nutrition on the body are especially important for those who have a weaker immune system. According to one study, as people grow older, they have a greater appreciation for the connection between the choices they make and their health. These nutritional choices may save their lives. This is very important for those who are already ill or have a weakened immune system, such as the very young and the very old. Proper nutrition can help to lessen the symptoms of some chronic illnesses and can also help people to lead a longer and healthier life. The effects of nutrition are widespread and they affect many areas of physical health. One health issue that nutrition affects is the risk of developing heart problems such as cardiac arrest. A study done on the effects of nutrition and the risk of developing heart problem revealed that those with an imbalanced diet and little knowledge of proper nutrition were more likely to have heart problems. The effects of some diseases can be reduced by consuming foods which are rich in nutrients such as meat. Meat is an important part of most healthy diets because it contains many essential amino acids and vitamins. These nutrients are essential to the function of body and the immune system. Consumption of food rich in these nutrients can help prevent and treat diseases of the immune system or even obesity. A single food item or nutrient cannot serve as a cure for all problems of deficiency and disease in the world. It's important to meet all the needs of the body, and this can only be done by consuming foods that are rich in nutrients. In order to have a healthy diet that contains the rich nutrients needed for optimal health, it is important that the food one eats should be a balanced mix of all the various food groups available. Relation between the quality of an individual's diet and his behavior is apparent from a very young age. According to one nutritionist, a correlation can be seen between behavior and quality of nutrition that is received before infants are even 6 months old. Children who receive adequate nutrition are less likely to be under stress because they do not need to worry about getting enough to eat. As a result of this lowered stress level, they will exhibit fewer behavioral problems. Moving on to the next section, nutritional components. Researchers have focused on the components that are essential for the proper growth and development. First, we're going to discuss lipids and fats. These are the essential components to the proper development of the brain. This is because the brain is composed primarily of fatty tissue. Lipids in the brain represent about 60% of its dry weight, and more specifically, they make up to 80% of nerve cells. Fatty acids play an important structural role in membranes such that communication both from and to the cell is facilitated. The amount of lipids within the brain allows for the rapid transfer of impulses and data, allowing humans to process rapid thoughts and actions. The second group of components that we are going to discuss is the proteins. Proteins serve as the foundation of the body. German scientist Gerardus Mulder discovered the importance of proteins in 1838. He found that it is the proteins which serve as the base of all living tissue. Protein makes up a person's skin, muscles, fingernails, and even hair. Without adequate protein intake, a person who is injured will not heal as quickly. Those who are athletes must be especially careful to get enough protein, as vigorous exercise tears down the muscles and protein is needed in order to rebuild and repair the damage. Protein allows the brain to progress to a higher level of thought. A study of toddlers from Egypt and Kenya found that those who received a proper nutritional intake of protein engaged in symbolic play at an earlier stage. The level of protein is important in cognitive development at young age, as it gives the brain the energy it needs to grow and develop, as well as providing energy for physical stimulation. Another important nutritional component that we are going to discuss is water. Water is essential for life as it allows the body to process many key minerals. The body contains more water than any other substance. The average body is composed of 60% water. Inside the body, water carries the dissolved minerals into the cells and helps maintain the balance of electrolytes. The body would quickly cease to function without water, as the cells would be unable to receive many of the nutrients they need. The next is vitamin A. It serves a multitude of purposes and must not be overlooked. It is best known for the role it plays in building a good vision. Inside the retina of the eye, there are small rods and cones from which light bounces off when it enters the eye. The reflection of the light breaks these rods and cones down, and it is vitamin A which helps them to regenerate. It boosts the immune system. It serves much the same function as vitamin C in that it acts as an antioxidant to destroy free radicals in the body. Vitamin A is essential in cell differentiation. Differentiation is a process through which cells split and begin to perform different functions. Without the proper amount of vitamin A, cells could not possibly perform their tasks properly. Without differentiation, there would be no children, as embryos would never form into a baby and the lungs that allow the child to breathe would never form. Next component is carotenoids. These are the small nutrients which can convert to vitamin A under proper circumstances. However, on their own they serve as powerful antioxidants and boost the immune system. Carotenoids bind and remove free radicals from the blood and help to protect the body from certain types of cancer. Eating fruits and vegetables rich in carotenoids can help individuals to live a healthy life and avoid many dangerous diseases. Another nutritional component we're going to discuss is vitamin B. The B vitamins such as B12 and B6 help to keep the digestive system working properly. These nutrients are key components of the metabolic processes. Without these nutrients, it would be impossible for people to properly digest their food. The B vitamins allow the body to digest other nutrients properly, and in doing so, they allow people to gain the nutrition they need to function. Another component is vitamin C. Vitamin C helps boost the body's ability to fight off illnesses before they become a serious problem. Vitamin C is also an antioxidant which helps to protect the body from free radicals in the cells, and by doing so, it can reduce the chances that an individual will develop cancer or other life-threatening conditions. The beneficial characteristics of vitamin C for the immune system make it a very important nutrient for people to consume. Another important nutritional component we're going to discuss is the vitamin D. It is best known for its role in helping calcium protect the bones. The body can manufacture vitamin D using sunlight. Research has shown that vitamin D may also help the elderly to maintain a sense of balance. Vitamin D may help with stability because it strengthens the bones. It also helps to prevent rickets. The next nutritional component we're going to discuss is vitamin E. It's another important nutrient which helps to prevent and treat diseases such as anemia. This vitamin helps prevent these diseases by promoting the flow of blood in the body and proper blood cell development. Vitamin E helps keep the blood cells healthy, and in doing so enables the blood to continue moving freely to all parts of the body. The next is vitamin K. It is well known for helping clot the blood. Even a small injury could prove problematic if vitamin K did not promote clotting to prevent the loss of too much blood. Severe injuries could be potentially fatal without this nutrient. It enables injured people to survive long enough to receive treatment by slowing and stopping blood flow. Another important nutritional component is the carnitine. It's a nutrient similar to some vitamins. Carnitine performs many functions which are essential to good health. Carnitine carries fatty acids through the bloodstream to the mitochondria, where they are used in the citric acid cycle. This nutrient allows production of energy and also cleanses the blood of any toxic components which it encounters. In large doses, it has been observed that carnitine can help reverse muscle atrophy. Folic acid is another important nutrient which helps in the development of a person even before he is born. Proper nutrition is essential during the gestational period. Nutrients such as folate have some influence on cell differentiation and growth during the fetal stage and help to influence the growth of the central nervous system. Deficiency of folate during stages of early pregnancy can be linked to the increased risk of giving birth to a child with physical defects. Before a child is born, the nutrients which it receives come through its mother, and the window of opportunity for nutritional impact may be small. Folic acid is only exceedingly important until the spinal cord closes. The fetus needs this nutrient in order to properly develop its spinal cord. A lack of proper nutrition for the expectant mother can have devastating, lifelong consequences for her unborn child. Choline is another essential mineral which plays an important role during the stage when the mind of the fetus is being formed. The small amount of time in which these nutrients have the opportunity to work makes it essential that the mother is conscientious about her intake of these nutrients before the opportunity passes. It influences the growth and change of stem cells and alters the way in which the brain functions. Without this nutrient, the stem cells cannot form into the various functioning parts of the fetus. Choline also helps to maintain the structural integrity of cell membranes. Without this vital nutrient, the cell walls would collapse. Zinc is another nutrient which is tremendously important. The American Dietetic Association stated that zinc is critical to the proper function of more than 80 enzymes. This seems to be an insignificant mineral but is vastly important to the proper functioning of the body. It's an important component of every living cell. Zinc helps to form the structure of the body's cells, preventing them from losing their shape and collapsing. Without the structure that zinc provides for the cells, it would be impossible for humans to function at the cellular level, and as a result, they would not be able to function as human beings. Fluoride is considered a trace mineral, which is essential for the proper maintenance of one's teeth. A proper intake of fluoride can help to prevent tooth decay and strengthen the enamel. The amount of fluoride which needs to be consumed is negligible, but it has vast benefits. If one gets enough fluoride, they can maintain good dental health into their old age and be able to continue eating nutritious food. Another trace mineral which is often overlooked, yet one of the most common nutrient deficiencies in the world, is iodine. It's believed that areas which suffer severe iodine deficiency over a long period of time show a tremendous drop in intellectual ability, lack of coordination, and hearing impairment. The development of the brain segment which controls these functions is dependent on iodine. All of these problems can come about as the result of lacking one seemingly insignificant nutrient. In contrast, many of these problems can also be solved by iodine supplementation. In Albania, Children who suffered from iodine deficiency showed a marked improvement in the ability to process information after receiving iodine supplementation for a period of time. There was also a large improvement in coordination and vision after having received the iodine supplements. This shows that the problems caused by a deficiency are not always permanent. Instead, these problems can sometimes be treated with proper nutrition to produce great improvements. Copper is another important nutrient which many people may overlook. Copper serves as part of the electron transfer chain and helps to produce the skin pigment melanin. Copper is also essential in the production of collagen and elastin. These are connective tissues which give skin the elasticity and resilience. The role of copper in producing this tissue helps to protect the skin from being damaged by outside forces. Manganese is used to construct cartilage in bones and skin, and it's concentrated primarily in the bone, liver, pancreas, and brain. Manganese also helps the body to heal from injuries. This nutrient allows new skin to form and the bones to heal. Sodium is a mineral which often brings negative connotations to mind. Many people know of the link between sodium and high blood pressure, but they often forget that a certain amount of sodium is necessary for proper bodily function. Sodium is essential to the proper functions of the nerves and muscles throughout the body. It helps the body to absorb other nutrients and regulate the level of acidity within the body. It's not difficult to get enough sodium for the body to function properly, but people need to realize that balance is the key to proper nutrition. Another very important nutrient which is found in some fruits and vegetables is chloride. This nutrient does not work inside the body cells, rather it shifts about in the bloodstream. The major function of chloride is to destroy harmful bacteria which enter the stomach or the bloodstream. Without this nutrient, humans would become ill much more frequently than they normally do. Magnesium is one of the most prevalent minerals that can be found in almost any unrefined food source. But food is stripped of much of the magnesium content when it goes through the refining process. The body uses magnesium as a catalyst for more than 300 enzyme reactions throughout the body and for the contraction of muscles. Without this mineral, the body would simply cease functioning at the cellular level, meaning it would completely shut down. Another very important nutritional component is selenium, an element of many proteins used as a component of the thyroid hormone as well as an antioxidant in the body, and is best known for its use in preventing damage to the cell membranes. As an antioxidant, selenium binds highly reactive free radicals to prevent them from causing damage to the cells and setting off a chain reaction among other free radicals. Another important nutritional component is iron, a key component in hemoglobin which transports oxygen through the bloodstream. Without proper levels of oxygen, the brain cannot grow and function properly. According to specialist Neil Gordon, deficiency of iron in early childhood causes oxygen deprivation of the brain, which can result in lack of memory and learning impairment. Deficiency of iron contributes to the lack of mental stimulation. According to psychologist Perry Guthrie, iron deficiency decreases the strength of body's muscles as well. This lack of muscle strength makes it difficult for iron-deficient children to participate in social activities and physical games. The result is the lack of stimulation that significantly slows the process of brain development and decreases the amount of enjoyment that the child gains from participation in social events. Now moving on to the next segment of the topic, malnutrition. Those who do not receive adequate nutrition remain undernourished or have nutritional imbalance that leads to malnutrition. Malnutrition is defined as poor nutrition because of an insufficient or poorly balanced diet or faulty digestion or utilization of foods. It's caused by a dietary deficiency, excess, or imbalance. Malnutrition can develop from chronic intakes at levels both above or below the acceptable ranges. There are about 1 billion people throughout the world who suffer from nutritional deficiencies as a result of inadequate dietary intake. These people who suffer from malnutrition usually live in the third world countries all across the globe. Their income and housing are insufficient to purchase, store, and prepare food adequately. Malnutrition can affect a person's mood, which in turn affects the behavior of the individual. The levels of specific nutrients in the brain stimulate particular reactions. Carbohydrates are a good example of this. In general, high levels of carbohydrates in a person's system cause a decrease in cognitive performance. However, a study observed that in some cases, small doses of carbohydrates serve as a mood elevator. A person's mood then influences his pattern of behavior, as he is less likely to lash out when in an elevated mood or state of mind. A study conducted by Liu and Rain found that children who were undernourished were more likely to demonstrate behavioral problems and to be more aggressive with other children. This may be because of a psychological need to compete for what food is available to them. Lack of nutrients would make them irritable, causing them to lash out at those around them. Lack of nutrition affects cognitive development in an indirect fashion. Children who are malnourished do not have as much energy and as a result are much less active than a normal healthy child. One study found that children who suffer from malnutrition will also be smaller than their peers. A direct result of this is that the child is less likely to be urged to attempt things that are challenging. Children need this mental stimulation in order to develop. The lack of mental stimulation due to small size will further slow the child's development. The World Health Organization has written up a report that describes the reasons why improvements in health have been slow and suggests what must be done to change this. Several key recommendations were given. To strengthen health systems and ensure they are equitable, to ensure that health is prioritized within overall development and economic policies, to develop health strategies that respond to diverse and evolving needs of countries, to mobilize needed resources for health in the poor countries, and to improve the quality of health data. The last of these recommendations is extremely important. Health promoters are responsible to educate the public. Experts of WHO estimated that in 2001, about 60% of all deaths and 47% of the total number of diseases were caused by non-infectious diseases. In most countries of the world, the factors related to malnutrition and lack of physical activity take the main place among all risk factors. These factors are many reasons for the major recognized non-infectious diseases, which include cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. These diseases account for a large proportion of morbidity and mortality. Other diseases related to diet, such as dental caries or osteoporosis, are widespread among the population. Some chronic diseases are related to malnutrition and nutrient deficiency. However, in the modern world, many chronic diseases are associated with overeating and excessive energy consumption. Base of eating behavior and preference of food are formed in early childhood. So it's important to put the proper habits in children in their childhood. In the future, this behavior influences their choice. In case of children, they just eat what they prefer in food. As a result, children take just products they like, refusing to eat the food they do not like. Studies have shown that malnutrition during the first 2 years of life causes a child's brain to shrink or atrophy, impairing physical and mental development. It also reduces IQ, slows motor skills, and increases learning disabilities. An improper diet can stunt growth, blocking the body to grow. Insufficient vitamin consumption can cause vision problems and blindness. It can cause infections, which in turn reduce appetite and decrease the absorption of nitrogen. The hormones of the body are also affected and the thyroid levels are altered. Malnourished people not only live in the developing countries, but some of them come from the industrialized countries as well. Most of the victims are those people who diet or fast to lose weight. Many pregnant women, infants, and children are also victims because their nutritional needs are relatively high. Sicknesses, injuries, alcohol abuse, and drug abuse could also frustrate the digestion and metabolism of food. When there are not enough energy intakes, the body loses weight and muscle mass. There are also many significant changes in behavior. The starving person becomes weak and unable to work productively. Also, the immune system suffers tragically throughout the starvation period. Many deficiencies of a single vitamin or mineral also occur. Many people in the industrialized nations abuse the use of alcohol and drugs. There are many deficiencies which include the deficiency of niacin, which causes pellagra, the deficiency of thiamine, which causes beriberi, the deficiency of vitamin C causing scurvy, and the deficiency of vitamin D, which results in rickets. Anemia caused by iron deficiency is also another problem that commonly concerns the poor families. Vitamin A deficiency is the principal cause of blindness and a major contributor to illness and death among children in the developing nations. In third world countries, deficiencies are so common because people rely on staple foods as the major source of their calories. They do not get the opportunity to diversify their diets to properly nourish their bodies. So, to have a healthy mind and body, it is essential to take a balanced diet. With that, we conclude our today's lecture. Hope you have understood it well. Thank you and goodbye.